Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shima El Khalil, and I am going to be facilitating the Empowering Skilled Newcomers to Succeed in Canada's Evolving Workforce presentation. Today, we have a collaborative effort with our team partner, Windmill. So I have my colleague here, Ampai, in the background, and we are going to be discussing some funding options for newcomers to Canada today. Before we get started, I do want to read off our land acknowledgement. And I want to recognize that McMaster University recognizes and acknowledges that it is located on the traditional territories of the Mississauga and Haudenosaunee nations and within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. Today, we have a comprehensive agenda. We're going to be discussing our Canadian labor market, who we are at McMaster Continuing Education, and why you should consider taking some of our programs. We will also be discussing what the challenges faced by newcomers to Canada are, how Windmill can work to help support students, and we'll be going through Windmill's objectives and their mission statement today. We'll be working to ensure collaborative efforts to support student success rates, and we'll also be sharing some success stories and testimonials from Windmill applicants. So overall, I wanted to introduce the labor market for newcomers in the Canadian workforce in 2024. So as we have seen, we have a recent influx of a lot of newcomers who are coming to Canada, which is exciting. However, we did notice that the recent immigrants in Ontario have about a higher unemployment rate of 11.7%. This does tend to be higher than the national average of Canadian-born people that rests at 5.3%. We did notice that amongst the established newcomers, established immigrants, there is a little bit more of a lower unemployment rate at 7%, but it still is higher than the rate for people born in Canada. While newcomers are underemployed at 21.2%, while Canadian-born workers are unemployed at 15.2%. As of right now, 34.7% of recent immigrants feel they are overqualified for their jobs, which is double the average of 18.5% for Canadians. Presently, when we do kind of source this data and take a look, 40% of immigrants say that they are underemployed because there are not enough jobs within their respective fields. So we do identify these gaps to employment that are specific to newcomers in Canada, and we wanted to start to work to build bridges to help you get education that you need to help navigate through the new employment landscape and education landscape in Canada. With our McMaster continuing education courses, our programs are designed to help students earn professional credentials and transition into new career paths. So we take pride in offering flexible online learning options. Many of our students who do come to us are working. They have a lot of personal obligations that won't allow them to be in a traditional classroom setting. So through our programs, you'll be able to learn in online flexible formats for you. Our programs are taught by industry professionals. So whether you're enrolled in our human resources management program or a project management program, you can rest assured that our courses are designed and developed by industry professionals and are taught by individuals who have experience within the field. We have over 100 plus job ready certificate, diploma, and micro credential programs in business, health and social services, marketing and communication, technology and data, as well as professional development pathways. So there's something for everybody who joins us today. Some of the challenges and barriers to education and employment that Empai and myself were able to come together to understand include financial barriers. This is a huge one. If people don't have money, they don't it makes it harder for them to attend school. So right now we're noticing that there are high direct and indirect costs of education or training. There's also expensive reaccreditation processes. So this might look like having your degree transferred over into Canadian standards or having your credentials assessed. This can be costly for new immigrants. We've also noticed educational and credential challenges, such as differences between foreign and Canadian standards, which can make it difficult to transition into new employment. There's also time constraints for retraining or upgrading. So this is where our programs at McMaster Continuing Ed come in because they're offered in more flexible formats that allow you to take our courses and slowly work towards regaining and re-strengthening your skills. There are employment barriers that we have identified. So a lot of newcomers to Canada have very limited professional and social networks. You're in a new country, you haven't established those yet. And there's also a very limited understanding of the Canadian job market. Finally, there's some personal and cultural factors that we've noticed too, which might include some low self-confidence in new environments, as well as difficulty learning and adapting to new learning styles. So what I wanted to do here today is I wanted to transition this over to my colleague Ampai, who's going to talk a little bit more about Windmill and what they do at their facility.
Awesome. Thank you, Shima. You could not have said it better with what you were talking about earlier, so thank you. I am excited to join you all today. My name is Umpai, and I'm the manager of partnerships at Windmill to talk a little bit about how we can help. So, Windmill, we are a charity funded by the Government of Canada that has impacted over 13,500 clients. So, our mission, vision, and values all align with essentially helping skilled immigrants and refugees succeed here in their careers in Canada. Our mission is to convert potential to prosperity by ensuring that skilled newcomers have not only financial supports, but the career supports and the mentorship they need to succeed. On average, and this is my favorite stat, we have found that our clients' incomes increase over 3 times upon securing the loan. So their income before versus after, it can increase over 3 times because, of course, this loan is just here to support you to get your education, an amazing education with McMaster, and then help you get into that career. Next slide, please. So overall, our loans are from $2,000 to $15,000. These are micro loans, so they're designed to really just help you pay for that education and any other wraparound things that you might need along those lines. There is a fixed interest rate of 6.45%, and this is for all careers. But if you want to take a course in healthcare, the interest rate is lower. So it's around 4.45%. So this is actually good news. Our interest rate even lowered now from 6.45. So it's now 6.2, and then our healthcare interest rate is 4.45. Now, we talk a lot about interest rates, but the biggest point I want to share here is that for many newcomers, typically you might have to take a line of credit or a loan that's typically 10% or more. So we're really here to be that accessible option in case you need the funding because we know it's expensive and it takes a lot of time to get into your career. So that's why we exist for you. With our loans, there's no administrative fees or any charges. The only thing that you do pay back is the interest. We offer a flexible repayment option within 5 years. So, what this looks like is if you do end up connecting with Windmill, doing your application, an amazing coach will reach out to you and do a session. In that session, we'll talk all about your personal history, your career goals, what your family situation is like, and create a repayment option that works for you. We've even had clients come in and talk about how they've become friends with their coaches and built lasting supportive relationships. So we really just are here to support you. And even if you have a challenging situation, try and make sure that we're able to be accessible. Early repayment is allowed and there's no penalties for that. So if you do want to repay your loan earlier, that's no problem at all. We also provide a 3-month grace period of interest-only payments after completion training. So here's what this means. If you were to take a loan and do a course at McMaster for, say, 10 months, you would pay interest only for the 10-month period plus 3 months after. So 13 months, you're only paying interest on the loan. And then after that period, you'd be paying interest in principal. So the reason we do that is to really, again, just make it accessible and give you the chance to make sure that you can pay it back because we really want to make sure that this works for you and that it only helps you and doesn't hinder your progress.
With our continuing education programs, we do have some varying applicable programs of study. So under business, we offer human resources, project management, and accounting. Health, we currently have the health clinical research, health informatics, as well as professional addiction studies. And with tech and data, we have full stack data analysis and data science. I do want to make this clear that this is not an exhaustive list of the programs that we offer. We have so many different programs on our website. With this information here, we just found that a lot of the students who were reaching out to Windmill were taking courses that corresponded with what we offer, what is listed here on our website. Now, I wanted to explore a little bit more about the collaborative efforts between our community partners. Through McMaster Continuing Education, We are able to support individuals through obtaining an education through flexible online remote learning options. Again, our certificates, diplomas, and micro-credentials are very diverse. We have students who come in to want to learn about human resources management. We have other students who are interested in our health informatics and tech and data programs. Our programs, we also do take a lot of pride in our programs being accessible for students. What does this mean? Most of our programs are open enrollment. So we don't ask students to submit an application to commence with courses. We're not going to ask for most programs for you to share your English language assessments with us or transcripts. Most of our programs, once you have your funds, you add your courses to cart and proceed to checkout, and you can start your studies. With Windmill, I'll pass it over to Pi to speak a little bit more about their program.
Awesome. No, that sounds incredible, Shima. Thank you. So, with Windmill, we also have a very similar mission. We're very, very aligned on just making sure that you can get the support that you need. So, at Windmill, what we say is, if you don't have credit history yet in Canada, that's okay. Typically, if you take a loan with a bank, you're required to have credit history, but if you don't have credit history, that's okay. If you're unemployed or if you're underemployed, you could still be eligible. If you are relying on your savings, employment insurance, or credit, that's also okay. We also don't require you to have assets to secure a loan, which is great because, of course, if you're coming into Canada, you're new, you might not have those assets yet to support. That's okay. And also, if you don't have a cosigner available, right? Many of you are coming here by yourselves. If you don't have a cosigner available, that's also totally okay. So, we do all these things simply again just to make sure that our windmill loans are accessible for you. Next slide. Awesome. So now I get to talk a little bit about what a windmill loan can be used for. I'll read them out one at a time. So the main purpose, of course, are the fees for licensing and exams, as well as the money it costs to pay for your education and training. So these are the courses and great things that you can take here at McMaster. The big thing here is that the course has to be 2 years or less. We can also cover travel expenses. So if those are travel expenses to study and if you need to take a course in person, we can do that. Professional association fees. So if you're joining an association based on your career, we can support that. Of course, as we all know, we have to live, we have to eat, and if you have kids, you have to get childcare. So if you need to pay for rent, utilities, groceries, or childcare costs, the loan can cover that. Relocation costs to study or work, course and work materials as well. As we all know, sometimes it might cost some extra money to get the books and materials you need to study. That's no problem. As well as credential assessment. So when you're coming and you need to really figure out what credentials transfer over, our loan can support that too. All right, so you might be wondering, how do I know if I'm actually eligible for a windmill loan? Well, the criteria is nice and clear, but sometimes it's challenging. And if you don't meet this criteria at this time, then when you do meet the criteria, please reach out to us. We'd love to support. To receive a windmill loan, you need to be a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident, provincial nominee, convention refugee, or protected person. You also need to currently be a resident of Canada, and you need to have at least 1 year of work experience or post-secondary education anywhere in the world. So our mission is to really support internationally trained professionals, which means that you've either worked or you've studied somewhere in the world, and now you're in Canada and you are looking to succeed in your career. That's where we come in. All right, so this is very important to us here at Windmill because we refuse to give you just a loan. It's never just the financial support. We also come with the essential supports that you may need to succeed just if you want them. We're here for you. We provide digital career resources. So what that means is depending on your path and your goals, we're able to supply some resources or refer to some great third-party organizations that can support you. We do client success coaching. So as I mentioned earlier, you'll have a meeting with a coach and you'll talk all about your life, your goals, and different things like that. And we'll make sure that everything's a really good fit. We'll also take some time and do a little financial literacy training because if you're anything like me and the clients that we serve, taking a loan can sometimes be a little scary because you're worried it's going to cost more, or it's going to, put you in a situation you don't want to be in. But we do this training to make sure that we avoid that and that this is a great product for you, and also so that you know exactly the ins and outs of how it works and how it will hopefully positively impact your life. The last thing we do is we connect you with a mentor. So, depending on your dreams and your career path, we'll connect you with a skilled immigrant or refugee who has walked the walk, who has talked the talk, and who has succeeded in their career, and make sure that you're able to have that personal support to succeed. Next slide, please. All right, so this is a great one. As I mentioned, we found that our clients' incomes grow more than 3 times when comparing income at intake versus income when the loan is repaid. And we also have historical repayment rate of 95%, which shows that 95% of the clients that have received loans with us have been able to repay their loans in full and continue on and succeed in their careers in Canada. All right, so the process, we keep it very simple. Start by exploring McMaster continuing education programs. Shiva will provide the resources for that, so you can click and go. Then once you find a program that you want to take, do our pre-application quiz. It's super short and easy. Then you'll do our little online application, again, super short and easy. After that, our team will reach out to you to request secure documents. So there's a few documents you need to submit. Our team will work with you to make sure that you're able to get those through. Once you have your documentation and your applications done, approval will take 5 to 15 days, and then funds will be deposited into your account in 2 to 3 days. So overall, hopefully, just depending on how fast you get your documents in, you could have your loan within about 2 weeks. After that, we will want you to contact McMaster Continue Education for next steps on how to enroll, and then you'll be good to go. All right, so we'll keep these short and sweet, but these are some real stories of amazing Windmill clients who have taken the support, pursued education, like the great education here at McMaster, and were able to succeed in Canada. So, for example, Rahul left behind a career as a chartered accountant in India. Before coming to Canada, he knew he needed a license, which required completing the common final exam, which is very expensive. But his experience with the Windmill team was good, and he applied for the loan, had an interview, and then the loan was dispersed. So it was simple and easy for him.
All
Go.
right, so I will speak a little bit more to some of the other offerings that we do have. So just like Windmill, we don't just put you guys in your courses and we kind of forget about you. You will have ongoing support to us at McMaster Continuing Education at any point in your studies. We do understand that transitioning to education can be a little challenging. This is why we offer free writing services that will help you take your skills to another level. We also do offer some free programs as well, such as the Caregivers Essential program, as well as short courses and webinars that we offer. These webinars are excellent for those who are looking to learn more, let's say about our CPA program or accounting program. They're also great for any individuals who want to learn about our health and professional addiction studies program. We do have some mental health and wellness supports for like the Black, Indigenous, and people of color community, as well as the LGBTQ and women. We do have some funding supports of our own, such as the McMaster Association of Part-Time Studies, the MAPS bursary for academic courses only. And we do allow for networking and with peers and courses taught by industry professionals. So a common question that I would receive is, once I'm enrolled in my courses, am I on my own? And the answer is no. You have your instructor that you can connect with, and you'll find that a lot of our instructors foster a very connected network online. You'll be able to talk to your colleagues and answer any questions or connect if you don't understand any topics. So we don't get you to register and abandon you. We support you your whole way through. So we do have some contact information here as well. You can also hold up your phone to the screen and take our QR codes and we'll redirect you right to our contact pages for both Windmill and McMaster Continuing Education. Again, if you have any questions or anything was not clear, you are always more than welcome to reach out to us.
But yeah, we just want to say thank you so much. If you do need anything, we're both here for you, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
For sure. Take care, everyone. Again, reach out if you have any more questions for us.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye now.